she opened up. All right. Thank you both for being here with us today in the HUBurban. As we drive around and talk through Hub RTP, but not only Hub RTP, but RTP, and then also the amazing work that you both are doing as women in traditionally male fields, or traditionally male-dominated fields. But you, as women, are dominating those fields. So we'll start off with something easy. We'll try to keep it easy at first. 3 words that you would use to describe living and working in the Triangle.
Convenient.
Yeah,
okay.
I was going to say location. So yeah,
right?
for sure.
Lakes,
mountain, ocean, wherever you need to be.
Okay.
Growing.
Oh yes.
Lots of with affords a lot of stuff here, right?
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
I
feel that was one of mine too. Growth, and not just like by population, but also professionally and personally, and growing that way too has been really good.
Yeah.
I touched on it, and I want to stay there because I think it's critically important to the conversation, and that is being women in male-dominated fields, male-dominated industries. How is that?
I think it's great. I mean, I started in a male-dominated industry in Ohio, and it's just kind of my wheelhouse. I'm not intimidated by it in any way, which I think is necessary.
Yes,
it's key.
Yes. I'm the same way. I've always been in construction.
Yes.
First job was in for a construction company, working out in the trailers. Overseeing a really large project in the park, actually, the big EPA campus,
yes.
and as a project engineer out there, and it's just all I've known.
Yeah.
And I never thought it was weird that there weren't really a whole lot of other women, because when I started, I was always in the construction trailers, so your world's real small.
Yes.
And so I didn't know that there weren't a whole lot of women there. I thought there were women working in construction, and then once I kind of, a handful of years out of school, after, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 years, I was like, wait, there really aren't that many women.
Yeah, you start realizing it, and people are reiterating it, and you step back and you think, oh, wow, like I didn't even realize or recognize that was happening. I was blessed to have mentors that are men that lifted me up and helped me along the way, which is very rare, I think. And so having that makes me passionate to help other young women, now that I recognize that is a thing.
Yes.
Trying to give back that way, I think is a really important thing.
Yeah.
Talk to us about some current projects that you're working on. Shelly, tell us about everything you're doing. Joni, tell us about everything that you're doing as well.
Yeah, well, we're working on Hub RTP. It was actually the very first project that we've partnered with anybody on.
Wow.
I grew the business just doing our own work, and it was such a compelling project, and I wanted to be a part of it, so we partnered with a site work company, and they're the lead, and we're doing all the electrical infrastructure and the pedestrian bridges and boardwalks and splash pad and some of the other scopes.
Awesome.
Yeah, so we're doing it as a subcontractor, so we're fully responsible for that scope. Right. I didn't mention. Yeah, so that was awesome. We're also building the marketing center for Hub, which is cool. We're doing a lot of work for Duke Health. We do a lot of labs and fit-ups and renovations in the clinic spaces. Wasserman Media came to town, so
are
we're
you busy then?
doing that.
I'm sorry.
I didn't realize. Shocking. In today's market.
Yeah.
I mean, so we are busy. That is for sure.
We're actually we're very small firm.
Yes.
We're based out of South Durham.
Okay.
My partner, born and raised, went to Jordan High School.
Okay.
All of that. And we've stayed local too. We just are finishing a project, Kit Creek Commons on Highway 55. It's a probably about a 60,000 square foot single story office, professional, and retail center. So we're trying to add some little infill, and we work a lot with like the small businesses that don't get the opportunity to own their own retail or small office.
Yes.
They go into a high foot traffic center, and they have to lease forever and ever, and there's not a lot of opportunity for that. So we're really proud of getting that finished and delivered. That'll finish up in the next month or so, and we got some land under contract in Wake Forest off of Capitol.
Congrats!
Yes.
Land under contract.
Yes, it is difficult to find. So I'm trying to keep busy too.
That's awesome.
And Shelly, you pointed out land under contract. Difficult to find.
Right.
With the growth that we're experiencing in this area, brings in some of those unintended opportunities. I don't call anything a challenge, but opportunities. What do you see, or how do you envision this area dealing with those opportunities that come up as we continue to grow?
I mean, the hub is hitting all the marks. If you ask me, they're really doing live, work, play.
Right.
Chatham Park, live, work, play. You know, we're delivering what people want, which is that mixed use opportunity. So they have tons of green space and all of that. The flex market is hot.
Yes.
The challenge, there is a challenge with that, and it's that land costs are increasing.
Right.
So to stay in the true RTP or triangle, it's getting priced out a little bit. It's interesting to see where we can grow, and we have a vast amount of resources to grow and continue growing.
Yeah, I think you hit a lot of the points.
Yes.
All the surrounding towns that people who aren't from here don't really realize, the region that is all the towns that make up the triangle,
Yes.
right?
That's right.
And there's so many opportunities in all those towns, right? And different opportunities for their employees to live,
Yes.
And to open up businesses and stuff like that. And I think that is a great asset that we have poised moving forward.
Absolutely.
And a lot of the meetings and seminars and stuff, it seems like the region has really worked hard at, at lifting everyone up,
All the
right?
communities.
And it's been amazing to see.
RTP, Raleigh, the chambers, they all get together, and they're really forward thinking and very thoughtful about everyone.
Right.
While we are competing against each other, we're a very small market, if you will, and everybody succeeds when whomever wins that project.
Right.
One of the things that I think everyone's keenly aware of here in this region is that we all do better together.
Right.
And that it's not just a slogan, it's not just something to say to feel good, but there's that general sense of everyone working together while making the region better. What don't they tell you about North Carolina?
Well, those rivals are real. We'll go back to basketball. I mean, wow, that's for real. I think how charming it is. It's really nice that you can pick and choose and travel a lot and still just staycation.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think knowing that it's a melting pot too, right? Like of culture and ideas, that it's not the old South.
That's
right.
It's the new South,
Right.
right? And it truly is. I mean, my kids in high school were, there's always new kids coming in, right? And so, and they were welcomed, right? Because there were so many new kids last year.
Well, that was one thing that was a bit terrifying as a young woman coming to North Carolina, not knowing anyone, taking a job, thinking of the good old boys club and commercial real estate, and they know it, and it's still got that, and it's not the good old boys, it's just a nice network of people where you can pick up the phone and they'll embrace you and welcome you. But yeah, it's different, and it's changing, and it's welcomed, and like everybody prospers, and so it's been great.
I know this is difficult sometimes for people to ask and to answer because we're typically not used to talking about ourselves. Sarah's probably rolling her eyes because she's with me all the time, and I talk about myself all the time. But for most people, it's difficult to explain how you're making an impact. but I've seen your bios and see the work that you both do in the community. So talk to us a little bit about how you're making an impact in this region.
I'm very passionate about giving back to both my community and the industry as a whole. And I'm past president of two great organizations, Triangle Commercial Association of Realtors and Triangle Commercial Real Estate Women, and was blessed to help grow and organize the mentorship program that we have, where the National Association of Real Estate Women give away scholarships, typically 25 a year, to juniors and seniors in college that can apply and learn a lot about the industry, which is huge. And additionally, giving back to Holly Springs, my community, through the food cupboard and delivering food to the seniors. I think it's very important that everyone has food on the table, they feel safe, they get a backpack, and neighbors, helping neighbors. And so I'm very passionate about that too. And I think all the communities are really, they rise up for that.
I find that I've had the biggest impact on just being out front and people knowing that, I'm just not with Bridgepoint. I own Bridgepoint.
I own it. Right? I run it. I built it.
Yes, which I used to not say that a lot.
Right.
And then I'm like, why? I'm shorting myself. I'm shorting other people from other women from seeing that, I actually have built this. And I didn't really realize how impactful that was. But oddly enough, I got a voicemail message just 2 days ago from a lady from 15 years ago who did my health insurance when I first was getting started, and told me that I made such an impact on her when her daughter was 5 about studying engineering, and she was so impressed with what I was doing that her daughter's now graduating with biomedical engineering.
Oh my gosh, that's
amazing! And I was like, I'm listening to this voice message going, that's 15 years ago. Just talking to her about something that I didn't even think anything about, right?
Yeah, but they really took it to heart.
She said it has stuck with me, and I pushed my daughter, and she was receptive, and we're just so proud. And
awesome.
I was like, wow. So you never know.
That's right.
At any conversation how you're going to impact people. So trying to be on panels and just being a face of a woman in construction, right? I think really does matter. And I didn't used to think it did, honestly. Because again, I didn't think it was a big deal.
Yeah, right.
Right.
No, but it is. Words are powerful, and just being present and see, being out front and owning it. Like, I'm commercial realtor of the year 2020 during a pandemic. Okay, so if you can do it during a pandemic,
that's right.
You can get after it.
Yeah.
So it's exciting.
Think about so many people moving here and relocating here because of business and because it's great here. I'm also not from here and relocated 6 years ago, and I love it. But what do you think is a hidden gem in the Triangle that you just really love about being here?
It is so nice. They've put a lot of emphasis into downtown Durham and the eclectic foods, and I went to a show at the not the DPAC but the smaller one, the Durham Carolina Theater. And I didn't know about that, and it's so beautiful and old and rich. I mean, there's so many good things.
I definitely would say not just thinking of Raleigh and Durham as foodie areas, but all the surrounding areas, right? Where people have gone in and opened their own restaurants that are wonderful, and coffee shops. But I would say our greenway system, honestly, right?
Yes.
Like, it is impressive.
Yes.
I mean, you can get on the greenway by Falls Dam and bike 30 miles without crossing a street.
That's huge.
I mean, one way, 30 miles.
Yeah,
right.
And the horses are on the tobacco trail too. I mean, it's so beautiful.
Great. It's a great amenity, and Wake Forest has been working real hard on getting a lot more greenways and connecting everything. And I think it's just an amazing attribute that the Triangle has, for sure.
Why RTP and why Hub?
think we've said it. Location, right?
Absolutely. I mean, certainly, and it's the whole mixed use vibe.
Yeah.
You're so close to everything. RTP has such a rich history.
Right.
You know, back in the 80s, they were like the first forward thinking pharmaceutical research, you know, and development. And it has been strong, continues to be strong. And what's awesome about the foundation and the organization is that you guys are taking that and, you know, elevating it. There's 50,000 workforce people that come here every day. And, you know, you're adding to that by giving us something more, not just come to work every day and then drive home, and then you're at home and you enjoy all of that stuff.
Right.
You know, the box yard is here. Go listen to some music, go to a food truck park. There's so many things here, and then you can meet here and then be anywhere.
That's right.
I was just gonna say that, like, we have, you know, we're in Wake Forest. We have friends, really good friends in Durham. Super easy to just meet at the box yard,
Exactly.
right? I mean, so that we're not having the
It's
Each
great
drive
central
over.
location
Yeah,
and
yeah.
meet and do
Yeah.
things, and there's so many great opportunities here.
That's what we want to continue to highlight and continue to point out. The park really transforming from what was thought of as a 60-year-old office park
Right.
into a destination point.
Right.
And we've really seen that with Boxyard in the early stages of Boxyard and the very beginning of Boxyard. I think we probably saw the mix of people that were park people that worked in the park somewhere around 75% as to people outside of the park at somewhere around 25%. But I'll tell you, as time has gone on, that number has kind of flipped to where we're probably about 60-40 for people outside of the park coming
that's
into the
awesome,
park.
and that would have been unheard of. I mean, we're driving by
Yes.
multifamily. I've been driving to Durham for 20 years. You know, I was driving anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour and a half. And they're like, "Why are you moving to Holly Springs?" And I was like, "Hang in there, work with me." But there was no place to live here. I wasn't living here. You know, I was living in Raleigh. I'm moving to Holly Springs, and now it's such a mix of people, multifamily, single home, you know, single family homes, and adding those amenities is just going to keep driving that.
You can go out to eat every day for literally months and never have to go to a chain.
Don't think I don't. Let me riddle off all the places.
Yes, and so I think that that's something here that is absolutely a point of pride, that, you know, we do have small business that is really being pushed in this area and not being pushed aside.
Right.
We've had great announcements, and we love those great announcements, but we also like to make sure that the existing business and the existing small business and entrepreneur has space to grow as well.
They feed off each other, right? You land those big guys, and then that's going to bring housing, then they're going to bring something from where they're from, and they want to open that and share that and have a sense of home too, and so it's like this infill thing around that.
That's
and it's great opportunity. It's wonderful what you guys are doing here and being forward thinking. I think that's what's something really big about the Triangle. Everybody is forward thinking, innovative,
looking for the next.
What's another great concept, and being open to those ideas.
6 decades ago, when the idea of the park happened, it was business leaders in the state thinking forward that says, well, you know, this economy is changing. You know, we're not going to be able to subsist forever off of tobacco and the other things that were staples of our economy. So let's think forward and try to see the trend before it becomes a trend.
Which was the American tobacco trail. I mean, you bring that up. You know, Lucky Stripes is now this awesome center with the Deepak there.
That's right.
And there, I think Rocky Mount.
Yes.
Very similar. You know, a little further outside the Triangle, but same thing. You know, you find something that works and just reinvent it.
It gives us something special.
You know, our motto is forever groundbreaking, and that's what we want to continue to do. We want to continue to see the trends before they become trends.
Or any advice to other young women looking to start in a similar field or a male-dominated industry, or looking to start anywhere?
Just know you belong, because you do.
That's great.
You know, I mean, I never questioned that I didn't deserve to be at the table.
Right.
And the minute you act like you don't belong, then you get treated that way.
Wow.
Right? I mean, you belong.
I think if I could sum up this conversation and the whole idea behind why we wanted to talk to you both as women dominating traditionally male dominated fields, it was for those types of thoughts. Know that you belong.
Right.
And so for that, I want to thank you for your time. Both of you have been amazing, and this has been an amazing conversation, and I look forward to continue working together.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
you.